Thank you. The preparation of the exhibition, The Spirits of Maritime Crossing, in fact, has been prepared since 2019, before COVID. We had this idea of the symbol or the layering of the spirits of maritime crossing in terms of the flow of culture through trade, through journalism, through discovery, through navigation, or even through colonization. In this way, the flows of culture have been an inspiration, and it's been placed and focused on Venice in context of Bangkok and many other places, various nodal points in Southeast Asia. So the idea was that to invite the artists to work on this project, we planned in two levels. One was making of a film with the same title, The Spirits of Maritime Crossing, where the spirits, as it were, of an iconic figure, in this case played by Marina Abramović, rose up from the grave of San Michele in Venice. And the spirits float all around Venice, trying to find refuge and peace, and then float along and appear in Bangkok. And the spirit of Marina Abramović tried to find some peace and kindness and solitude through the Monkey King, played by Pichet Klunchun. And she tries to find this ultimate goal by visiting various temples, Hindu temples, Chinese temples, and ended up in the temple of the reclining Buddha, Wat Po. This was the beginning, and then the artworks that were shown, where we actually had the chance to exhibit the works in the 60th Biennale di Venezia at the Palazzo Mangili Marina, where artists representing countries from Southeast Asia, not just Thailand, but including Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia. So these are the artists who represented. They showed in such a way that they had the opportunity to create new works and have the dialogue with the actual architecture of the building at the Palazzo Mangili Marina, which had many decorations and murals and sculptures in relation to context of travel and discovery as well. For this particular project, for the 61st Biennale di Venezia, we continue the same theme, and we want to again have the chance in context of the maritime crossing from Venice to Southeast Asia with new groups of artists, and this time we have in total 20 artists, again with a film, but now this edition we have Marina Abramović and Alexander Tomatic, as well as Pimdao Matmi to play various roles, again with Pichet Klunchun as the symbol of the Monkey King, but he always also plays the role of the playboy, who is the symbol of mischievous and maleness. So, in fact, the story goes on in the film. The story moves in such a way that it talks about sins and sinners, the problems and the constant confrontation with lust, greed, vengeance, jealousy. All this comes up in the film. So we have the film showing, but also the artworks. And this time we have the fortunate opportunity to show our works at the Palazzo Rocca Contarini Corfu, which is next to the Accademia by the Grand Canal. This Gothic building is historic and has many classical figures and a lot of stories in relation to myths, for example, figures of Dante Inferno, Ugolino, the Sienese prisoner who ate his own sons and grandsons. So the idea of cannibalism, the idea of myth can converge with the works of the artists. And the idea of maritime, again, interpreted through works, say, Vasinburi, is about creating new works in relation to travel and expressed through ceramics and vases. And these vessels were actually sent, newly created and then sent from Ratchaburi to Venice. Vasinburi has this idea of the vases that were brought during the time of Marco Polo. This particular Chinese design is the evidence, the residues of the bringing back of the new exotic items, artifacts, through trade, through travel. And he imagined that this new creation of his was sent from Thailand to Venice, and maybe the ship sunk and rediscovered again and placed at the Palazzo Rocca Contarini. And there are other works by various artists who actually pick up the symbols within the building or the myths or the figures. For example, Ruang Sak also talks about myths in terms of symbolism of the river. In this case, the Mekong River as the place where many mythological stories, especially related to the Naga, the giant serpent, can be interpreted. But Ruang Sak talks also about pollution and the threat of environment detriment, that the Mekong River is almost dying. And he actually collected the residues, the skeletons, the objects, where he traveled along the riverbanks of the Mekong River and actually bring them here to show in the main hall of the Palazzo Rocca Contarini. Other artists, whether it be Lee Hian Min, So Yu, Sambo Liep, Nadia Badamaj, these artists pick up their interpretations and pick up their ideas and present them in such a way that a lot of the issues coincide with the main theme of In Minor Keys of the Biennale di Venezia. For example, the gender issues, the ethnic issues, marginalization, and the voices of the people who have been voiceless. In this case, they get the opportunity to talk also and to express their views, and we organized the symposium with the University of Venice, the Ca' Foscari, and we discussed in terms of sustainability, gender, marginality issues with the students, with the professors. So the artworks actually are displayed in the Palazzo, but working with Ca' Foscari, we extend the idea of specific problems that relate Venice simply, quite openly shown, especially the idea of Venice sinking, and various cities in Southeast Asia are also facing the problem of flood. In this way, we want to study as well as get the opportunity for the artists, the students, and the professors here to work together. And during the 4 months of the exhibition, we will have various kinds of talks, seminars. More than that, we also emphasize on the live performance. The live performance that we've been showing over the past 2 days with Pichet, with Amanda Coogan, with Matmi, and with Konkan. These are live and long duration of performance together with Alexander Timotic singing the opera in the Palazzo. This create the liveliness and bring alive, the objects in such a way that the voice, the tones, the small tones, the quiet tones can actually be quite loud, and a lot of expressions and subject matters really make the viewers enjoy so much the performances. The term minor keys, which is the theme of the 61st Biennale di Venezia, has many meanings, has many layers for interpretation. And I think we can take so many angles. Minor is opposite to major. If you compare it with the scale of the music, minor is quieter, more subtle. I think this is something that the artists can be instrumental in terms of expression. But I think in minor keys also relate to very much the zeitgeist of the moment, the happenings and the events that have been ongoing. Since the announcement of the theme minor keys, we experienced so many political upheaval all over the world. So the more and more expressions are being done through art. They reflect the events of the ongoing situation. I think we need to be aware of the events that have been building up towards the opening of the Biennale di Venezia, because with the ongoing war in Gaza, in Ukraine, and the forceful major events and major players and the superpowers, whether it be America, Russia, and also Israel, play a part that artists are very deeply touched, and they want to express their views. And many artists are very much against violence, against genocide and murders and the killing of children. I think all this has been, building up towards the opening of the Biennale di Venezia, which we all know that a lot of international media come, and what we experienced just before the opening, protests by artists, curators, art workers, as well as the people who feel very much that the inclusion and the acceptance of the Russian pavilion, as well as the Israel pavilion, some even say as well as US pavilion, have to be confronted. So confrontation came, protests almost daily outside the Biennale or inside. When the Biennale opened, some of the protesters actually entered and expressed their views outside the smaller pavilions, but inside the artworks as well. So in this way, in minor keys actually have the consequence of what's going on, and the juror of the Biennale di Venezia actually resigned in protest of this particular inclusion of these countries. So in this way, I think the art world itself is facing a lot of change, a lot of transformation, and in terms of our exhibition, the Spirits of Maritime Crossing, we have the opportunity to show artworks from the lesser known countries, whether it be Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, or even Vietnam. But we are glad that in this edition, for example, at the main show of the Biennale di Venezia, there's a pavilion of the Vietnamese artists, and also for the second time, the pavilion of East Timor. Already existing the pavilions of Singapore and Philippines. Indonesia also have returned. So I think it's a great chance for artists to show their works, and a great opportunity for the viewers to come and enjoy themselves and get to know the artists who a lot of times are placed in the periphery or the margin area. So I hope very much that the people who interested will come and travel and come and see the shows. And if not, we can show them through various medias that we have, like now. Thank you.